Okay, today is April 24, 2014. Let's take a look at the market and then we'll go and take a look at some of the stock that is reported earning, such as Apple, Facebook, and Netflix and those guys and Amazon. Just kind of do a little bit of a post earning review on those and maybe a couple additional stock. So let's start off with looking at the S&P 500. After yesterday's earning from Apple and the big announcement and the big gap up in the after hour, one would think that the market will be running off and off to the races and try to get up to the new high here on the S&P 500 and everything. But as it turned out, the market it was really kind of boring, at least for me today. You know, and except the Nasdaq 100, you see that it's been up like 20 some odd point and so forth, and then most of those stuff is because of Apple. Other than that, if you look at the Russell 2000, it's kind of weak all day long. The S&P 500 and the Dow Industrial is kind of fluctuating between the negative and positive area. So it just kind of wishy-washy all day long. Then yeah, when you look at some of the stock, then you can see there are a lot of volatility on some of these high beta stock and the biotech. But then there's a lot of them, that sort of, getting back to its trend, right? And we're going to see that a little bit when we look at some of these stock later on. So let's take a look at the S&P 500. The S&P 500, we talked about, getting back about this, 1872 here, this pivot here, and which it did, two, 2 days ago, and yesterday, today it's kind of put in as a little bit of an inside candle here, right, inside ball, and we're thinking about that, maybe, it could come back and test this new high at 1890. Right now, with things appearing on the market, it doesn't look like it will be anytime soon to kind of come up on this 1890. When I say anytime soon, like maybe tomorrow or the next few days. So especially, I'd be very surprised that we see something that will propel the market up here to take out the previous all-time high of 1890 on tomorrow's trading session. But it always could happen. There's a possibility that could happen. It's not impossible. It's just that from what I see, I just don't see it. Okay. And hey, I've been wrong before and will be wrong again. But, right now, essentially what I see on the chart and some of the, breadth indicator and that sort of thing, it just doesn't look likely, but doesn't mean that it's not possible. Okay. So looking at that, maybe we come down and still try to hold this, 1872 level, or it might, come down and maybe tag this, 18, this 1865, and if it's really come down, maybe in the next couple of days, a couple of trading sessions, maybe it will come back down and retest this 1848, 1850 level here, right? So, but the thing is, it's still, even though, we come up and book this little pivot, and even though it come back down here and then start coming back, we still making a, a higher high, higher low, and that could still put in that possibility for it to, take out this particular previous all-time high, right? Okay, so that's basically the S&P 500, and also notice that the 50-day moving average, right? The 50-day moving average, which is a green, right? Is rising, right? In addition, notice the price is above that, right? And also the 20 EMA is also rising, and is also above the the 50-day moving average. Uh, Remember that because we're gonna go back to that point later on, okay? And then looking at the Dow Jones 30, the Dow Jones 30 also came up, and again put in a little inside candle, and it seems like we might come back down and retest this 16,004, 450 and change somewhere around there, before maybe I make another attempt to try to take out the all-time high on that 16,576.70. Okay. But for now, I think it might come down, try to retest this level. And if it's going to come back down a little bit more, then, maybe come back down to some of these intermediate level where we see a lot of these price cluster here, and be surprised that if it, like I said, come down to this particular, this particular support level down here. Okay. But wouldn't be surprised to see it maybe, get back up here or even possibly come down here. Again, because even though it come back down, we still have this, higher low, and possibly when it take this out, this new high, then we have this higher high. So it still be on that little bit of a rising trend. Okay. Then again, also notice that on this, the Dow Jones, the 50-day moving average is also rising. So is the 20-day EMA, and the 20-day EMA is above the 50-day moving average, and also the price is above that moving average. Now, the reason why I want to point this out is here. Notice that on the NASDAQ 100, first thing is, before we even talk about the price action, you see this 50-day moving average, right? It is kind of, it's not pretty much rising. It's not kind of declining yet, but it seems to be flattened out to getting ready to roll over, right? And also you see this, this 20 EMA is beneath the 50-day moving average, right? And also it's kind of rolling down. Also, it's sort of flattened out, but doesn't mean that it can't do this, right? So, and also notice that the price is underneath the 50-day moving average. Right? It's beneath the 50-day moving average. So there's a different characteristic of the price action, right? Those are little subtlety that, when we look at chart, you just don't want to just look at pattern. You also want to pay attention to some of these subtlety, because your moving average is based on the price action. If you're doing a 50-day moving average, it's basically summing up, taking the average of the last 50 day, price trend, the price action. If it's trending down, then your average will be start also trending down, right, over time. So you can see that there's a difference between the Dow 30, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq 100 here, right? So, and if we look at that, we were talking about that you have to get back about this pivot, right? You also notice that the S&P 500 and the Dow 30 have got above that pivot, and broke is, the lower low, lower high type of downtrend, and we just see could it form a pivot to get to a higher high, higher low type of a trend to go and take out the previous all-time high. Now for the NASDAQ, we're still waiting for the NASDAQ 100 to take out this pivot to break this, downtrend zigzag, of this lower low, lower high, right? Okay, so right now, essentially, we are still waiting for this, to come up. But with the current price action, I wouldn't be surprised that we will see it, come back down and possibly test this 34.18 level. Okay, down at this support level here, because right now the Nasdaq doesn't look that strong, even though Apple is there to help holding it up today, but it could only do so much when you have so many stock that is weighing down on this average, on this index. Okay, so essentially we're still waiting for it to come back up at this 3601, 3602. Okay, but the chances are, I think we're basically looking for this thing to probably come back down and maybe retest this particular support level down here near this 3420, 3418. Okay. Then on the Russell 2000, okay, notice the Russell 2000, similar characteristic as the NASDAQ, right? Although, you see a little bit of a rising trend on this moving average on the 50-day, okay? And maybe that's probably due to this little, bumping up here, right? And the thing is, it could do this, right? But again, you see this 20 EMA, and also you notice that the price is beneath the 50-day moving average, and also the 20 EMA sort of crowds under the 50-day. Right. So it's a similar characteristic as the NASDAQ 100. It definitely is a different characteristic than the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial. Right? So again, we're basically looking for it to come up and take out this pivot, then it will break this lower low, lower high, and possibly get up and do this. Right? So right now, if we see this come back down and we test this level here, somewhere around the 1135, okay, right, that probably would be the first level that we want to see. Could it hold? If it's not, then chances are we probably will see it come down and retest this, 1094, this level here, this pivot low. Okay, so that's basically the two different market that we talk about, right? That's why there's that shift from the high beta. So that's why we say there's a shift between that high beta, the growth stock to the value stock and the high quality stock, right? That's why you see that difference in two characteristic of the S&P and the Dow Jones Industrial versus the Nasdaq and the Russell 2000. Okay. So let's take a look at the stock. Let's start off with go and do a recap on Netflix. Right, on Netflix on Monday we saw it came out announced the earning, and then on Tuesday kind of got a nice little pop here, and it got almost to the the option market pricing level to be somewhere around this 385. I believe it got, like I said, it got up to as high as 381, and then start kind of fading off. Right, then yesterday the continuation of selling off, and I was saying that I wouldn't be surprised to see this price gap get filled, and then today it actually got filled, and now it came down and test this little price gap pivot high here, on this gap here, right? Okay, so it came down and sort of test that. So right now we're probably looking at Netflix. You notice that the moving average is also rolling over, and everything it looked like the normal characteristic of the Russell 2000 and the Nasdaq 100. Right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see the price to continue to come down and possibly come down and actually tag this level here somewhere around this 326, 325, and then ultimately probably will break that and maybe get back down to this, break below this 300 level here, where this pivot is, and possibly come down and test this level somewhere around this 388, 389 level. Okay. Then also we look at Facebook. Facebook announced their earning yesterday after the market closed. It wasn't that bad, but apparently, wasn't good enough for the streak, I guess. So you can see that it got a little bit of a bump, but it didn't really hold that much from above yesterday's high. Of course, there's a nice little bit of a gap from yesterday's close. Okay, but today it actually put out a engulfing candle, so it's basically like an outside day. So it's kind of engulfed the last two candle here. And as a matter of fact, if you look at it closely, I believe even yesterday's candle, we actually got a engulfing candle here. So let me see what is the high on that. The high is 63.48, and the high on here is 63.44. So basically, this is a outside candle for this candle here, right? For this candle here. So we're basically getting something like this right now, right? Okay. So essentially, of this sort of a, price pattern. And right now, it seems like it's, probably heading down, and we probably be looking at Facebook maybe come back down and completely fill this gap. Remember we talked about there's still a little bit of a space between, the last time we tried to fill this gap, and then probably will eventually, get down and test this particular low a little bit under the 54 level, maybe into the 43. I mean the 53 level. Okay. So basically that's what we're looking at, one possibility of Facebook on the downside. If it's going to reverse back up, it's essentially have to, try to get up to, take out, this particular level here, close it above these level, and then maybe take out this particular pivot here. Okay. And then we look at the Apple. Apple actually, held up pretty well after yesterday's gap, the earning gap here, this morning. And I was saying that we was going to notice that maybe there's a possibility of that 570 resistance, not only because of the technical level here on this particular pivot, right, but also you could note that on the open interest in the option, there seems to be, some numbers there to kind of sort of justify that they're not going to allow that to get to that 570 yet. Maybe after they clear out some of the unwind, some of the in the money call and that kind of stuff. Basically they've been jerking around today to try to close out some of the call. So that's why you see it kind of fluctuating. Like a lot of between 367, 368 for a while. That 365, 368 level for a while. Okay, so that's basically, we still kind of look at this 570 as a resistance. We need to see Apple to hold this gap. If it doesn't hold this gap, then Apple is not going to be that fun to trade on the long side. But I believe, this, some of the announcement that came out of Apple yesterday with the increase in dividend and also the additional $30 billion of stock repurchase plus the 7-for-1 stock split, I think that will change. That has changed the outlook or at least a little bit of a sentiment on Apple. Although a lot of people call this, financial engineering. Yes, it's the mother of all financial engineering, right? Who the heck could have done that other than Apple? None of these nonsense that go and sell some bond and then maybe get $500 million and then go buy $200 million stock or something like that, and beat their estimate by 1 penny. I mean, they didn't just beat it by a penny or by 10 cents. I mean, so yeah, I mean, there are some of those, and hey, that's part of the game, right? So right now, essentially, maybe tomorrow after the OPEX, we might see it, depending what it's going to do. Most likely, I sense that it will try to pin it somewhere around 360, 365. That's just a guess, okay? So don't take my word for it. Who knows? They might just let it run and then get above that 570 and let it move up, to maybe 580, 585 or whatever. That will be a nice, pleasant, surprise for a lot of people that is long on the on Apple. So if it break about this 570, whenever that will do that, maybe sometime next week, if not tomorrow, then we're possibly looking at maybe something in this level here. This essentially this 594 level here on this particular this particular pivot high here, right? So but again, if you look at this, right, this is like a big cup and handle, right? So if we look at this, if we're going to break that 570, right, and we could see that that could carry a possible major move, okay, up at this 765 to a new all-time high. Now, before somebody say, making all these little wow, gesture and all these kind of stuff, hey, I'm just a messenger. I am just telling you what I see, okay? It's just like, when I put up something on BlackBerry, right? Okay, and here's what I did, on BlackBerry and tell these people that look, there is a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern that give a major move, right? Down to the 7, right? Because this is basically the major move. People say you're crazy, you're nuts. Well, hey, I mean, I'm just telling you what I see. It's not my doing, okay? Either you take it or ignore it, okay? So that's why same thing with Apple, okay? I'm just telling you what I see. If that is going to happen, not saying that it will. I mean, if it's going to be happening, I know there's a lot of Apple bear out there also. They still, do not believe that Apple, will do what it's supposed to do or whatever, okay? But hey, I don't trade based on opinion. I trade based on price action. So you could voice whatever opinion you want. It doesn't bother me. Okay, but basically what I'm doing is I'm just telling you what I see, and hey, I could completely misread the chart. Like I said, okay, perfection is for the God, and I'm no God. Okay, let me be the first one to admit that. Right. So basically, if we are seeing this, and if this do pan out, then yeah, there's a possibility of this thing going to this 765, or at least surpass the previous high of somewhere around that 702, 705, whatever that level was. Okay, right? So that's one of the possibility. Okay, right. So that's for Apple. And then let's take a look at Twitter. Well, let's take a look at Amazon. Okay, Amazon put out a chart today, before the market closed, and saying, based on the option market pricing, they are pricing in somewhere around, plus or minus $24 movement, based on earning, and that will put it upside somewhere around 357 and 309. Okay, so basically they got this little blue box that kind of encompass that, that range. Okay, and we take a look at the intraday, the after hour, you can see that actually spiked up to somewhere around 354, and then it's gonna, peter out and came back down and sort of, ended the after hour session somewhere around 337. So I think it's a little bit below where it closed, I believe. Let me see, where did it close today? Right here, and it closed as well. Why don't I just look at this? We close at 337.15. Okay, so 37.15, and if we look at the, so it's closed just a little bit above that, right? On the after hour, close at 337.60. So big would be 45 cents above the normal session close. Okay, so right now, again, you look at the characteristic of the moving average and the price action. Wouldn't be surprised that we probably see a little bit of a fade tomorrow on Amazon and then fade back down. Okay, because I think they already ran it up prior to the close, anticipating earning. So that's why even though they move it up to that, what's that, 551, right? Up at this level, 554, really doesn't mean that much because, so maybe, tomorrow we could run up to, get up to this moving average, this 542 level, and then, move it back down or something. So that wouldn't be a impossibility. But if you look at it in a little bit of a longer time frame, like maybe a week. Okay. Yeah, I know, talking like a trader. But hey, okay, so if we take a look at this particular level here, remember we talk about these H pattern, right? Okay, all right, okay. So basically you see that the price here on the swing, it come back up to, if we talk about this like a 0%, it basically come back up to this, 382, right? Okay, and then it will break this 308. If it break below this particular low, then we possibly could see it come below this 300 and maybe get down to somewhere around this 288 or 290 level. And so certainly, that's one possibility. And not saying that it can't go up and, try to do this and go back up and tag this level here. Okay. So, but just based on the price action right now, it seems to be more of a downside than upside. If it's going to go up, it probably will do a lot of little chopping around and consolidate here before it make it smooth. Okay, so and then we'll look at Twitter. Okay. Twitter, we thought it was going to make some move on the upside. Let me see. Sorry about that. Let me get that chart back on. Okay. Right. We're talking about, Twitter might possibly get back up here at this 47 level, and then maybe it could get back and try to test this 50 level. But as you can see, that the last couple of days, it's sort of trying to get there and it failed, but it was still holding up at this particular support at about the 45. then today it really got weak, and right now it seems like it is getting ready to possibly be heading back down, and maybe it come down and test this particular level here. This 42 level once again. Okay, so maybe that's what it might do. But if it's gonna go up and try to get back above this 50 level, then certainly it has to, do this. Oops, do this. Take out this level here. Okay, all right. So essentially, that's the little recap on the market and some of the stock, that just reported earning with the addition of Twitter. So good luck on your trading tomorrow. Tomorrow is OpEx day, and so definitely with the earning, a lot of these options is going to get pinned. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. Good luck to you all.